man. Yeah, you know it.
Hello, hello. Welcome to tonight's stream, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day. Real quick, still getting some things set up. We'll be working on some level stuff. So, be working on setting up a level, kind of a new kind of tutorial area. Right now, what I got open is a kind of good news. We have our Steam page actually, and so this is kind of our setup for the creating the art and scene for our capsule art and stuff like that. So we have some characters in here that have kind of been posed and have some animation. Everyone looks a little bit awkward here because they're kind of just staged, and then the game they look like this after it's rendered. Well, this is not in game. Once in game starts, the characters, the VFX characters will move and stuff like that. Yeah, let's take a look at actually see if we can see what that looks like real quick. And so just seeing, this is kind of what I'll be doing as well for today, just setting up another cosmetic scene that we'll be using for later in our game. Yeah, so here it is kind of what this is like. So we're thinking this might be our kind of new intro. We start off the game with the text and stuff in the world and things like that. So yeah, it will be cool. Hopefully, that's kind of what we'll be working on today. So let's get to it. It's a little bumpy. So I'll start off by altering up an old scene of Unity. See how it goes. If anybody's in chat, say hello. Um, so this is kind of a result of from a lot of places where we've gotten. We kind of want to get players to certain actions sooner. Um, so we're kind of changing our approach a little bit of how we're doing the tutorial. We're going to focus an area where they can, kind of like a gym area where they can learn all the basics of the game, and then throw them into the action. Um, I think this will kind of expedite players to get into things faster if they get the gist of it. If not, then they have this gym world where it's a safe space for them to kind of play around. And so that's kind of the idea with this. Creating this smaller space to do all those things. So definitely want to keep it small and concise for players to kind of try out these various things, and then we'll throw them out and they'll be kind of out in the wilds. So I'm kind of loading in. This is an old build. This is oh boy, this takes me back. This is our first hub world. Oh, man, the concept of starting off with the res and the walking, and then coming down here to the desert. Okay. Oh boy. So the reason I'm starting off with this just because off the get go, if I start play here, I have some wiggle room with things. Um, so that's primarily why. I am turning off this though, and there's a camera. So kind of just want to get a basic view of the levels and scale for this. That's kind of why I'm starting off here. I am gonna bring some of our assets though. Uh, and build probably a little bit somewhere else. And the big ones here is going to be our spell portal. Let's get this going here. So just moving some of these things. We want to keep the camera concise with this. So this is my anchor point of my world. So that's why I'm bringing it over here. So what does that look like in the game? Yeah, perfect. And next thing I'm gonna do is gonna start messing around with the terrain. I need to set the height for this. I don't know what the current height is, so I'm gonna try to figure that out first. So stamp set height, and my world height right now is at 50. Let's see what zero looks like. Gonna put this up to strength completely to one. So that's what zero looks like. Um, That's good actually. So that's not what I want. I want a lot higher. So the reason you usually want to start when you're playing terrains at a higher level is because in case you want to create rivers or canyons down. So I try to start my levels. If I know how much negativity I want going down, or if there's going to be rivers. That's kind of how I planned this one. So in this case, it's going to be relatively fat, but the idea is that they just discovered this gate, and then this is going to be a future site where like the order builds everything. Um, so I do kind of want this a little bit more underground, and as they dig out and stuff. So I am going to set this height. If it was at 50 normally, that's what that was at 50. Okay, and I'm okay with that actually. That gives me plenty of space to kind of mess around with that. So I'm gonna do just a quick stamp of this, and then I'm just gonna block out that as my area for where I'm gonna work at. You know what? I might even just do this. Probably way too much, unnecessarily amount. That's fine though. That kind of gives me my space where I want to work, and that'll kind of be my litmus of where I'm gonna work in the game. And so this one I want it underground a little bit, so I'm gonna first set it here, and then now I am gonna bring up the terrain again. Let's make this obviously a little smaller, probably 10. Let's do this brush, and then obviously I just want a little bit because this is buried. So and I'm building out more of this area because this is not going to be my height. My height for this is actually going to be taller. So I'm building height versus growth now, but that's fine. So let's go to like 60 now, like keeping it in increments. So I'll blend this in more once I a little bit in there again. I want this again. The concept, the idea is this is like an excavation site, and so they've dug up areas of this. So that's now going to be my new base. So now I am gonna kind of the surrounding area, and then maybe a little bit 65 in some areas, just to show different heights areas. Yeah. And honestly, I might change this around just in case I do build other stuff because there are other things that I want to showcase in this stuff. These mana towers are kind of the important part of this. I mostly have these because I'm gonna use it kind of to set it around. Like this is the area that they found and they kind of decided to build on. Trying to find the other ones. Oh, there you go. Mana Lantern. Another thing that I want to have is I want to look up my reference for my characters and what the size of that's going to be. Um, I have actually some characters here from our main campaign. There it is. I got some texture issues. They should be at 1.4. Oh, 1.5. I believe that is their stance. So that gives me a reference of the size of the characters in the world. So I'm kind of have to use that as kind of a size and reference where I want things to be in placements. I also have these guys. Yep. So here you go. That is my moot at his full size. So, oh boy, he's a big boy. Let's colliders on him. Oh, there you go. Let's use some reference on that. So, I think the last thing we need to do is set up this little area more, so smooth it out, and then I'll create a ramp. So let's go back to the terrain, set height. Well, I think we were at, what was it, 50? So we'll create some space here and we'll add it because it's going to add the effect right now here. So we'll bridge this, or excuse me, the sculpt a bridge. Let's make it smaller. It's too big. 15. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. We'll do that. And then again, I'll add props that we're here kind of to show that this is going to be an excavation site and things like that I have that, I can kind of smooth it out. Don't want erosion. I just want smooth. Taking a smaller brush. We don't want strength too high. Because remember, we just want this to look like it's been dirt and piles and stuff. It's been excavated. I'll paint this stuff later in a different color to give it those looks. I want to try to avoid smoothing that out. I'm not going to smooth out the edges yet just because we're probably going to add more height to that. Um, yeah, that looks good. Looking, that's smooth. All right, cool. So this is going to be the kind of the area that I'll enter into the final base. I will need to add some kind of an encampment around all of this. So I am going to have to set up the height at once more time. Um, Set height, and I think we're at 60 here. Let's take a look. Yeah, 60. So let's again bigger this bigger brush. Actually, I don't like that area. Let's do it this way. Technically. So the idea with this new area is that you'll start off here at camp and then go out this way. So I'm trying to. I'm trying not to use all this area, but no, we can do that. Block that off. So we'll start off over here and make our way that way. So a couple of props I am going to definitely need are going to need our workstations. So let's get out of these actually. Namu is going there. Let's see. There you are. So we've got to dig for some of the things that we have in here. That should be some of them. I think that will. Yeah, I think they got it a little bit bigger, to be honest. More mid 1.5, 1.5. So these are actually some things that haven't been in the game yet. Um, so this is kind of like the observatory, mobile observatory campsite. It's kind of for other magic related items. Of course, we have the pocketary one. Oops. For our potions, and then our magic circle, which I think is fine actually as is. So those are kind of our workstations for now. And then we'll be adding other things too to the camp to make it more campy, to give it that vibe. Tons of assets for that sort of stuff. We are using all our characters for this too, though. So let's get them out here, posing and everything. So we got our fire mage. Is gonna be 1.5. Oh, we got our fearless leader 1.6. We have our other mage at 1.5. Go beat shuttle there. So we'll have them around camp, or one of them, and you kind of get to see what they'll be doing. They'll be navigating and kind of showing you through some of the nerd stuff. It'll be really cool to see what we got going for you guys with that. Let me update this. Well, I'll leave it like that, I guess, for now. It's fine. They're gonna have some of this other props that I'll need. Let's see what So these are kind of things that are just going to be decoration, like I said, around the camp. We're gonna be we're already going to be fun to work with, aren't you, Mambo? So this is the old hub world, so I'm updating it because that's kind of just I'm using this as a base for it. I don't want to necessarily add more levels with more data. So in the back of the level, I'm creating this area. I'm getting all my workstations, everything that's gonna be at this cap, in one place right now. It's just then I'll start spreading it out. Um, yeah, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the idea is that I'll start placing things actually around. The idea is that actually that's what I was doing. I need to resize these things. Our realm markers or the players are gonna start. They're gonna wake up from their tents to do out their trading. And so they'll be out kind of out here. So I'll have various. I'm just gonna move you somewhere over there where you never bother us. So we're gonna have all these tents. This is gonna be the starting area. Yeah. So you'll be here camping. This reminds me of camping with the Boy Scouts. Not that I was in the Boy Scouts, but save some time. So this is gonna be the kind of the area where camp sleeping is and whatnot. Communal fire or something. Throw in some ruins over here. So kind of the camera will be here, camping start here, you get some basic instructions. Once they get this pad poised, they start getting to different workstations here. So ultimately, that's kind of the path that we'll have. And so we'll have our main checkpoint where they got to check with the commander. Or the first NPC will be here. Maybe I could make it smaller. Where did that come from? Don't know. Delete it. So another good way to kind of start visualizing the level where you want, I think, is what let's do to kind of start doing now is I'm going to start painting my path roughly. This is not necessarily what I'll be using. The colors and things like that, but just painting it will help me kind of give a direction I want. There's no really layer here that's kind of like a pad though, so I'm just gonna add one for now. I want a little bit more of the brick thing, so let's do what is that? Paint the texture, the wooden tiles. Yeah, let's go with that one. And so that one's selected. And then this won't be a desert area. This part of that over there, yeah, will it? But now this is going to be more of a jungle area. So the camera generally works this way. So this is kind of the idea where they'll start, get them going over here, some basic movements. And then I do want to make the most out of this area. So probably what I should do is kind of I do want to have things here though. So painting maybe more this way. And then I do at one point want to get an option where like, okay, now that you have some basics, you can go to this station over here. And so maybe I'll paint the stations. So I'll have like one station over here. And I'll have one other station over here where they learn some basic stuff. Things like that here. Combat area kind of thing. A little arena. And then ultimately, this is where you do want to go down. This is the path they have uncovered. And so, what you could do. Right. There's going to be one of these areas, and it might need to add it or move it, but there's going to be an area where I need to add some height or decrease height. because I want them to build stuff, so they get the idea of the platforming. Um, and again, don't want to lock anybody out, so it'll kind of be like a little area within this here. So that being said, I have all these characters kind of around the map. I need them as reference more, so I'm gonna start moving them around. So let's have the fire commander mage. Let's have them be over here at the entrance. Just for reference. That should be the size about the character, so that gives me also about the space. I am gonna multiply you though because I do need to remember there's gonna be four players. So I'll make the main commander over there. So maybe this is where my players start. Yeah, let's do that. So let's save this up for a little bit. And yeah, so this should marks one, two, three, four. This section can also be part of a workstation or an area. So I have this area. I have plenty of places I can do that. I also have over here where all these characters are. So some of these will be already built, some of them will not, because we do want to teach players. Well, actually, in here they will all be built, so I don't necessarily have to worry about that now that I think about it. So that's what makes the most sense. Cooking wagon is definitely should be close to cap. So they're not necessarily going to interact with it, but I want to kind of hint players that like this is kind of like standard Realmwalker stuff. They'll get their cooking stuff. This is where they cook. This is where they chow down. So I have the wagon here, and that's by the sleeping quarters. I think that makes sense. They wake up. They smell food. I'll add some chairs and desks nearby. Actually, I don't want to distract them too much, so maybe I'll just move this here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do it this way. And then I'll put. Should I do it this way? Add a tent there. Uh, let's make that bigger. One and 1.5. And then I'll add tables here and whatnot. So this will be kind of like they could be the mess hall, quote unquote. I do want to have this over here also. So I made you have a note. So there is a plan. I'm not necessarily willy dilly putting stuff. I have a concept where I'm doing it. Um, I have worked at a kind of a outdoors as a ranger in camp, so trying to put it where stuff would make sense of when you're setting up camp where you want things. Um, so this is kind of like a the workshop stuff. kind of a planning area central to where the commanders would sleep. So let's do everything scales 1.5 actually. Yeah. So that could be over here. When makes sense. When we come out and talk to him, then just leave this here for now. I don't know where that could necessarily be. Potions is this is healing, so let's make that over here also. Kind of right at the center of camp. I do want to leave this area blank though, in case I want to use it more. Let's do blacks over here actually. It's combat stuff. Let's put it in this like little arena. So we'll do the spell circle over here, and the blacksmith as well. Take that. So remember, they're not going to necessarily interact with any of this stuff. This is kind of just to show players of like, hey, these are some of the things that you'll be able to build later on in the game. So Mamu, he needs to be necessarily at the entrance of camp. I'm not. I like the idea because that's the stables. That's where you put your animals and stuff. So let's put them. I kind of like the idea of this somehow being the entrance. I think I'm gonna also mark it with these runes. Kind of make these towers here, and I'll fix them later. But I'll kind of these will kind of be like the gates of the area, and then the future. This will also be like the future site of where the school is. Actually, let's keep this a little bit more clean. I don't want them to like. Yeah, let's because they're gonna restore these towers because they're gonna create their whole base is gonna be basically here. Yeah, let's do this. And again, I can always repaint stuff. So this is just kind of first wing it of this. Yeah. So the plan, the idea with this is going to be like the starting camp that eventually becomes like their main area, right? Because this portal right here is such an important portal. They find out. Um, so this will eventually turn into more stable buildings or whatnot, not just like a little outpost. So there's definitely things I want to do here. Keep the motif here. This is why they started digging. They found the pillars. Oh, additions. So I need to add a light effect to it, but that's basically what they are. Oh, hey, Billy Hauser. Thanks. Glad you. Yeah, I'm excited for this concept. Trying to keep more. We're gonna hopefully get people to other parts too. So, yeah, they will never return to this spot though. So, actually, that's not enough. We'll see. What is this? This is the survival hunt. Survivalist. So let's get that. Actually, let's get that somewhere up here. This is like before you. Maybe before. Let's actually do it by memory. So you check in. What do you need to do? What do you need to be ready to survive? Kind of master arms. It's a little small. There you go. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We got what else? The Realmwalker desk. So that with along with observatory, that should be kind of together. Mm, I like that up here. So that original plan, like I said, I wanted to kind of like go up a hill. So I think that's what I'll do. And the Realmwalker desk should be somewhere else with the workstation because it's like the main building area. So not sure yet. We'll figure it out. But let's do a little kind of hill here concept. And this will be the site of the future mage tower. So let's go to set height. We know we're at 60. So we'll definitely want to go up a little bit. So let's go to 80. What does 80 look like if we go here? Oh, that's too much. It's kind of what I thought. Don't want to go too high. Yeah, I think that works. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to sculpt the bridge. And the reason I want to, yeah. Oops. Oh, no, redo that. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that works. Smooth that out now, though. We'll add other elements to cover some of this stuff too, though. So there you go. Want it just look cleaner uphill to that. We'll add some rocks and all that good stuff. Yep. So let's actually draw our path as well. So let's go to paint. Do we still got our paint mode? my head, I'm already kind of planning what this will look like in the future. So that's why I'm kind of putting these words because, um, yeah, this one I want to have more of a like a rounded tower, but made out of these. Because the Realmwalkers are like restorers, so eventually that's what this will kind of be like their attempt of restoring the tower. So this is the broken version. Yep. Yeah, legit. That gets the gist of it. Again, this is kind of first pass, first test area. All right. I think I do want to have the Mammut. We're gonna have a restoration area where they're gonna restore something. That should be naturally next to the workstation and the Realmwalker desk. Um, yeah, why don't we actually just make it this area since it's right where they would be. If you think of the context of a base or a fortress, also this makes sense that there's something here right when you get through a gate. You know, the gatehouse, the guardhouse, stuff like that. So let's keep going with that logic. So this will be our workstations and workshop area. So the Realmwalker desk will be here. This is a whole camp though. We don't necessarily need just one. Now that I think about it, right? This is like they're building a bunch of stuff. So why don't we add another one somewhere else? So one over here. Since technically there is multiple realm walkers. Well, they're not realm walkers yet, but yeah. Or I guess they are. They just haven't started their order yet officially. You know what? And then yeah, this is the workshop. Why don't we put multiple ones? Get some tents going up there. Yeah, I'll later have to kind of add a decorative thing where I add a bunch of like equipment, barrels, crates, all that good stuff around the level. I need to make sure this. Okay, starting here, we got our characters, blah blah blah. This is going to be an area. Trade this a whole area as well too. So yeah, let's save that up. I think that's been cool. Been going more than just a little bit over an hour. So yeah, good progress. So this is kind of what we got for our first iteration of the kind of training campground that will start of the archaeological dig. Um, Keeping it small. This is probably the largest footprint of it. They'll start surrounding it stuff, the area with rocks or trees and things like that. I don't necessarily want to just like block it off, but definitely this is going to be the play area because we want players to get to the portal in the wilds and all that stuff. So this is going to be just a small trading area. Um, and yeah, I'm exciting, hopefully, plans with this area too, to be converted over time. So yeah, I'd like to kind of keep working on this layout and see what that other looks like and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Um, we'll be play testing or up a new build on Sunday night, and we have a new Steam page up. I think there should be a link in all of our social media now. We can follow us, wish list on Steam. That would be greatly be appreciated. There's also the Blue Ocean kind of voting going on right now. If you're not familiar, quickly see if I can grab it. Yeah, so our game is part of the Blue Ocean. So if you go to the website, you can make an account. You can kind of vote on some games, which one you can watch the video, and yeah, that's it. So go ahead and do that to your game. Vote for us if you like it. There's a lot of other cool games on there as well. But yeah, thanks for joining me in our session for tonight. Hope you guys have a good Friday night and